to me now, put it in my pocket.
You make things happen. But if you just don't throw anything up, I can't give you feedback. You can't email me, nothing. So, just making things happen so you can receive feedback. Just don't be afraid to make mistakes. Just get it up there, get it out. Another thing is one common characteristic is they model and swipe. Model and swipe. And what I'm talking about here is, I'm not talking about stealing, but I am talking about where, in school, like if you looked on somebody else's paper and you could, like I could read upside down, that even helped me better. But if you looked on somebody else's paper and you were taking a test, they'd call it cheating. Well, I learned later on in life that, especially when I got into business, it's not called cheating anymore, it's called swiping. And so I could model others and kind of figure out what they were doing. And I learned a lot through school that I realized I learned it used in business. But but nothing from the teachers. But modeling and swiping, and what I'm talking about is there are things, like let's say you like the format of a website or something like that on the internet. Well, we can model that format. We can do a lot of cool things. I mean, we're not going to say say the same things they have, but we can use the formatting and things like that, and I'll show you how to do it. If you notice that a lot of people are using certain colors online, well, actually, sometimes they'll actually get in trouble if you just model a site and you don't know why the things are the way they are. Now, the cool thing is I'm going to tell you what colors we use and all that stuff. But you can get a general idea of what's going on by modeling other people, and especially on the internet and swiping things. I have a whole swipe file at home, and in my email box of all the emails that come through that I think are good, that caught my attention, and I put them in a file. What I do is I look at them because later on when I'm trying to come up with an email, it gives me inspiration or ideas that I can use for my email that I'm sending out. And then number 9 was building a team. Success is a team sport. Getting rich is a team sport. And I'm standing here right now, and I said this the other day. I'm standing here right now. Yes, I've done all this stuff, but I didn't do it alone. I never could have done what I've done alone. I have a great team around me. And whether it's the people that work with me in the office, or whether it's just the people that I have on my team, like my tax attorney, if it's like my mentors and things like that, I just have a great team. And that's one thing, is you want to build a great team. There's great people in this audience right now that you just don't know. They could be like last time I did an event, if you ever read the book Incorporate and Grow Rich, C.W. Allen, he was here. Ted Thomas was supposed to be here. He actually got called to speak at an event right now, so he's not coming. But he's actually coming to the next event. He booked into that one. He's coming as a participant. We've had Mark Joyner been through this. We've had, if you guys know who he is, we've had Tom Antion come through. We have John Childress come through this workshop. We've had just some big names out there in the industry. And the interesting thing is I used to ask him, I'd go up to him and say, what the heck are you doing here? Like even Tom, I was like, Tom, what the heck are you doing here, man? So we teach the same things. He goes, because I know I can get one nugget, and one nugget's going to make me $1 million. And I was like, it's a good idea. Because it's great. And the same thing, nothing's better when you got the godfather of internet marketing, which is Mark Joyner, come over to you and give you a high five while you're sitting there because of one thing you said that he never even thought of in his 20 whatever years online. And I was like, that's pretty, it's pretty cool, and I have a great testimonial from him. But anyway, we're going to talk about some amazing things, but remember, it's team sport. Now, the one thing is that this is my personal thing. My 2 favorite people that I read about and I study and I learned from are Henry Ford and Bill Gates. I learned a lot from Henry Ford, and maybe I learned too much because I graduated. Remember I said I graduated high school with a 1.7? I graduated college in 3.5 years. And because of a challenge that I had with my parents. I tried to quit school maybe 150, 100,000 times. Every time I came home, I'd say, Mom, I quit school. I'm never going back. I hate school. I don't want to go back. I wanted to go out, and I wanted to do stuff. I didn't want to go to school. I didn't feel like these people were teaching me anything that I was ever going to use in life because most of the stuff was regurgitated stuff out of a book, and it was really ticking me off. And I would tell him, I was like, I don't want to go to school. My dad knew who I was because he knew I was one of those guys you challenge. I'm going to take you up on the challenge. Now, I learned to pick my challenges better now. But his challenge to me was, Matt, I don't believe you're going to graduate college. I said, Dad, you don't say that to me. I'm going to graduate college. He goes, good, that's what I wanted. I was like, oh, you son of a bitch. So he got me, and I said, but here's the deal. I will graduate college. I will finish school, but I'm going to finish it, and I'm going to finish it in less than 4 years. I said, I'm going to get out before less than 4 years. And I said, if I do what I want you to do, is I want you to pay for half my school. Because at the time I was paying for it all. I want you to pay for half my school because it's a deal. If you graduate, I'll do it. So I said, okay. So through school, I graduated in 3.5 years. Actually, I think a little bit shorter than that. I went to 2 schools. Actually, I got my BS degree in marketing, and I also got my associate's degree in technical engineering at a community college down in Birmingham. So I was went to school in Huntsville, sort of Huntsville, and then so I was driving like an hour back and forth to school to go into 2 schools, graduating from 2 schools in less than 3.5 years. And the interesting thing, I want to tell you something. I never wrote a single paper. I don't know if you know about college, but you got to write a lot of papers. I never wrote a single one. Why? Because Henry Ford taught me something, that you don't need to be the smartest person in the world. You just need to know who knows things. And you can go to them. So what I did was I learned I had pledges do things for me. I had people from Harvard that you can find online do stuff for me. I had my mother writing my things. I had everything else because I was doing everything else, and I didn't want to do that. So I figured might as well just give it out to the people that know what they're doing. Give me my reports, and we'll get done. So just so you know, that's one thing I learned from school from Henry Ford. It's a great way to make things happen. But also Bill Gates has a marketing degree. And just say is, delegating things out. Like we'll talk about things where you can go and you can delegate things out so you don't have to be the one that's doing it. And then also Bill Gates was a marketing major and thinking like that. Always coming from a marketing mindset.
Do you want my